This year marks a decade since the Great Nutrient Collapse, the catastrophic event that reshaped societies and food policy worldwide. With over 60% of Earth's population now part of regional agri-food cooperatives, the UN Biodiversity Index has reported an unprecedented 20% year high of
I didn't plan to stay. I came to volunteer. 3 months, maybe. Get out of the city. Recalibrate. Let the quiet do its work. That was 6 years ago. No one ever really warns you what happens when you start to see the world as alive again. Something happened out here. Something ancient and urgently new. They call this village the center of the world. It's not, obviously, but for the people who live here, it's where things started to make sense again. Market day. Maya is first to pull me in, not with a speech, but with a look and a beat. With hands stained crimson from beet juice, she presses a bundle into my palms. "Take these," she says with half a smile. "They remember you." I trace the dirt along the beet stems. I remember them too. They nearly overran my terrace last spring. Maya nods. They sensed you needed a wild companion. Nearby, a grain farmer with sun-lined skin leans on a crate and grins. Trade or story first? He's teasing me. Always the same question, always the same answer. Story, of course. Listening to the recount of a season, of storms, stubborn sun, it hits me. The story feeds me just as much as the grain itself. Winding through the market, I pull out a small device from my pocket, no bigger than a marker, pointing my nutrient scanner to a crate of tomatoes. It hums dull orange. Imported. Picked too soon. I continue until I find myself in front of another basket with sun-warmed tomatoes. This time, the scanner blinks a deep green. High nutrient integrity, dense with minerals from healthy soil. Price is still a factor around here, but so is vitality. Nutrient density is hard currency. "You're joining us for dinner tonight," I tell the tomatoes, as I fill my bag and prepare to leave. At the local learning center, lessons unfold in dialogue. We all have something to teach and to unlearn. No imposed ideas, no one-size-fits-all solutions. We simply stopped believing we had all the answers and started asking better questions. What do you need to move forward? How can I make this easier for you? Here, leadership is about making space and leaving room to grow. Leo, a young boy, looks up at his teacher with inquisitive brown eyes. "Why don't we dig the earth like before?" "Because it breaks the fungal networks. We let them do the heavy lifting now. Remember, Leo, the earth breathes too. We used to not let it." "What happens when the earth can't breathe?" "Well, what happens to us when we can't breathe?" The teacher tosses back the question. Well, suffocate. Yes, Leo.
Nutrient collapse across 72% of global farmland confirmed. Emergency summits delayed yet again as decision makers scramble to meet.
we used to suffocate the earth. We didn't lose nature overnight. We lost it, inch by inch, season by season, and for the longest time, we didn't even speak about it. It wasn't a thunderous collapse. It came creeping, and it came with silence. Silence in the forests. Silence in the fields. No chirping, no humming, no buzzing. A silence screaming of emergency. And so, Leo, why don't we dig the earth like before? Because now we listen to the mapping memory underground, to the water held by roots, to nature herself. I glide alongside Kira as we paddle through the restored marshes. There's no neat grid, just waterbeds, twisting and turning, and some pathways made by deer. Kira leans back in her canoe, tipping her cap. This used to be flood-prone land, she says. Now we call it the sponge zone. Took us years to realize the best thing we could do was nothing. She laughs softly. Funny, isn't it? We used to work so hard trying to control everything, all that stress. Turns out, the best thing we ever did was just to leave nature alone. We placed a few stones, scattered a few native seeds, and then stepped out of the way. And what came back in the marshes wasn't just water filtration. It was birdsong, beavers, humming insects, even us, gliding in canoes this time, where machines once rutted the soil. Late afternoon in the community garden, Tarek waves me over. He's been spacing out rows, not in straight lines, but in curves. The millet roots invite the mycelium. The carrots come after. They take their time, he explains. No charts, no chemical schedules, just patience and observation. A sense that life has its own logic, and we're here to listen and follow its rhythm. Optimizing for life. What does it mean? You could say it's designing for relationship. The fungi like the millet roots, and the millet holds space for the carrots. They take care of each other. We just encourage the pattern. The goal? Resilience, flavor, diversity, and joy. You gotta have some of that, too. Some nights, I climb the ridge. You see most of the region from up here. Mixed farms, wetlands, forests. Nestled into the valley, my village glows. It's not the future I once imagined. It's something quieter, dense with life, designed to grow with the land, not over it. It's not perfect. We still have our battles to fight, but it's alive and built to last, not just for us, but for the generations I'll never come to meet. I used to think that the future was something we had to fight for. Then I came here, and saving the world stopped being some big idea. It became about compost, crop rotation, community, getting to know my neighbor well enough to plan a harvest. Now I see the future as something we grow and tend to, together with the people we show up for. Thank you for journeying with me to the village at the center of the world. Futures like these aren't just imagined, they're seeded by real movements and real people. A new dream of society is being woven, and regeneration is one of the main threads of the fabric of this dream. If this story moved you, why not share it with someone you imagine building the future with? Until next time, keep tending possibility and keep weaving the future into being.